Hey everyone, so like everyone else right now, I am doing a lot more shopping my stash or utilizing what I already have, rediscovering favorites, and I've really been enjoying watching other people's current videos on their favorite whatevers, in this case, mostly eyeshadow palettes. That seems to be my weakness. And I thought it would be fun to sort of go through mine. And I tried to keep it to 10. We got close, but I started to think about what makes my perfect palette, and it doesn't exist yet. In my dreams, I will be able to collaborate with someone who makes eyeshadows and pick out the 6 shades that I want. I have given much thought to it. I actually know which 6 shades. It's 3 matte and 3 shimmer. They would be, for the mattes, it would be an ivory for the brow bone, a mid-tone brown for the crease, and then a slightly deeper, darker brown that I could use to deepen the outer corner and use as an eyeliner. And then the 3 shimmer shades would be like a champagne-y shimmer, more of a bronzy shimmer, and then a really, really bright highlight shimmer. Like, I have given this thought, and it's all in the beige, tan, brown category. I am going to walk you through all of them, and you know what, I'll just talk about it as I go because I've talked long enough. Some of these are still available, many of these are not. And I purposefully decided to include those that are not available because maybe you already have it in your collection and you've forgotten about it and it's time to pull it out. So here we go. Starting with this little duo. This is from BareMinerals and the duo is called the Top Shelf. There is a light shimmer shade and a deeper shimmer shade. Actually, the darker shimmer shade is more of a mid-tone shade. Now this palette is not really wearable all by itself as far as I'm concerned. You need at least some sort of mid-tone matte for the crease to sort of anchor all of this. But there were days I didn't care if I had an all shimmer eye and I would wear these two together. If you have this in your collection, pull it back out and give it some love. Just put your bronzer in the crease and then you can put these on top. I think this light shade is a beautiful lid shade. I just swatched some on my hand, but it's soft, creamy, buttery, and of course BareMinerals does not make this anymore. Now for these palettes. These are small in size, but there are 8 shadows in each one. They're both from Viseart. They're both Petite Pros. The first one is the Petite Pro 1. And in all Petites, they have 1 row of matte and 1 row of shimmer. Now, this is, again, not my perfect palette because there are shades I have never worn. On the shimmer side, that lightest shade is my perfect lid shade. I adore it. But honestly, the other 3, the Gold's too golden, that, I don't know, orangey, rusty one is just too orangey, and then there's that purple. I'm just not a purple person. But then, again, on the matte side, that white for the brow bone is honestly too white. I need it to be more of an ivory, but that mid-tone brown is absolutely perfect. The darkest brown is absolutely perfect. And again, that sort of maroony middle shade, not my thing. So what I did was I bought the Petite Pro 4, the Apricotine. And again, not every shade is perfect, but the lightest, these 2 shimmer shades are some of my favorites. And this tannish one is also really good in the crease. It doesn't have the perfect brow bone shade, but it's pretty close. So what I usually do, these pans are actually removable. There's little notches, you can see them there, and you just stick your finger in and you can pull them right out. So what I generally do is pull out the ones I don't want and put all the ones I do want into one palette. Another oldie but goodie, this one's from Flower Beauty, and this is the Shimmer and Shade eyeshadow palette in the shade Golden Natural. I'm definitely more of a warm tone person. I think these are absolutely beautiful. And this is one of the rare palettes that I absolutely wear every single shade. The only thing this is lacking is a matte brow bone color. And then it would be absolutely perfect. This has gotten a lot of love. Also from the drugstore, and the closest I actually have to a perfect palette, is from CoverGirl, and it's from their True Naked line. It's the nudes version. Look at the perfection of this. It has your ivory, your mid-tone, and your deeper matte shades. Then it has all the shimmer shades. I love this, and I put it away for some reason, and I've been playing with others. It's coming back out. It needs love again. This is an oldie from YouTube world. It's the Sleek makeup palette in the shade, or in the Storm designation. Look at this. It does have 2 shades, that jewel toned blue and green that are just a little much. But all of those neutrals, they are absolutely gorgeous. all of the light champagne-y shades. They're not too warm, they're definitely neutral. There's a pink one, there's a bronze. They're all so wearable. There's even a matte black for liner. It is, of course, missing that cream brow bone shade. It has a huge mirror here. I don't use this anymore. I really just keep this for memory's sake. It was one of my first purchases that got me really excited about an eyeshadow palette. This was 100% inspired from Pixi when they were still doing regular tutorials. And I love it. I actually have one that is in its original box that's never even been opened. Let's just run through my drugstore ones and then we'll get to the high end. So these two I'm pretty sure are discontinued, and I don't want to go into too much discussion about them because I've talked about them so much recently. They're both by Milani. We have the Bold Obsessions and the Soft and Sultry. Bold Obsessions was the first one I purchased, and I've talked about it recently, but 3 different rows, 3 different color stories, a little more cool toned in one column. You definitely get the warmer fall tones in the middle, and then that last row is deceptive. It has a warm brow bone and some cool, it's really a great little palette. The only shade I really don't wear in this is that blue, but it has everything I'm looking for, and it's such a fabulous package. It has everything I'm looking for. It's such a fabulous palette. The consistency of these shadows, buttery, soft, pigmented, everything you're looking for. And I should say, without going into every single palette, if the shadows are not buttery, soft, and pigmented and blendable, they're not even in this video. So just assume that goes for all of them. And then its cousin here, the Soft and Sultry palette, definitely a cool tone palette, but again, so workable, so neutral, so wearable. Combined, you know, if you pair it with some of the shades in here, they balance so beautifully. And again, so easy and compact, easy to travel, easy to store. I love them. I'm gonna use them until they are dust, or unless Milani comes out with something better. A little higher end from the drugstore, but also available at Target and Ulta, I think. It's by Pixi. It's their Eye Reflections shadow palette in the shade Natural Beauty. So what this is missing, I guess it's missing a mirror. I don't really use a mirror unless I was traveling, but it's nice to have. Again, it has the mid-tone transition crease shades, the matte ivory, some highlight shades, some shimmery lid shades, some deeper shades. And I really do like the oversized pans. They're quite easy to smush your finger in and pat, because that is my preferred method of applying a lid shade, is to just pat my finger in the shimmer shade and pat on. We'll talk about what I have on in a minute. But again, an absolutely beautiful palette, and it does run, I'd say neutral to cool, but it's more neutral. This one is the newest one to my collection, and it might be my favorite, not just from the definitely my favorite from the drugstore. And it's from e.l.f. and it's the new Classics eyeshadow palette. And to be honest, I have never looked at the back of this until just now. I didn't realize it actually has directions for different ways to apply the shades, which is really cool. I'm gonna have to try that. Again, it's every color that I need and then some, but they're all wearable. Even Gilded, that slightly greenish gold, is very wearable once you put it on the skin. There's so many shade options, but I think you can tell from the dust on this that I pretty much wear Cosmo on the lid, which is down here. And then I pair it with Darling or the one next to it, the one in this row, second or third. Those are the 2 of my favorite ones. So an easy palette to wear. It has, like I said, it seems so repetitive, and I know that a lot of these seem like the same shades. It's my hunt for that perfect palette, which still doesn't exist. This palette from L'Oreal sits out on my makeup counter where I do my makeup. I don't know what to call it. My vanity area. And I never talk about it. It is such a great palette. It is from L'Oreal. It's La Palette Nude 1. This one's a little warmer to neutral. The other one they have, maybe there's 2. One's more of a smoky eye and one's a little more pink. Again, everything you need for a beautiful, easy, neutral eye. And some really interesting shades that don't look like much in the pan, but when you swatch them, like this one right here, it's a really minky, this one, sorry, the one that I don't want to be flipping you off with. It's a taupey, silvery, but not too silvery shade. And it's just a fun, kind of interesting color, especially for a drugstore. And I have to say, I learned about this one from watching Lisa Eldridge, so glad she influenced me to pick this one up. It's a great palette. Now we're moving solidly into non-drugstore, and it's funny, as I look at the pile that's on the table in front of me, most of my favorites are drugstore. I didn't realize that, but okay. So I couldn't decide between two, so I'm showing them because, to be honest, I feel like they're sister palettes, and to get my perfect look, I need them both. They're both from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the Sultry palette and Soft Glam. If I had to pick one over the other, it'd probably be the Sultry palette, and that is what I have on my eyes today. It is definitely a cooler toned option, but there are pops of warmth in it that for me make it very wearable. Birch, which is right here, is warmer in the crease. Obviously, if I really want to warm things up, I can put Bloom on top of it. Teak and Cinder actually come out pretty bronzy. If you're not sure if you're cool, neutral, or warm, there's a nice mix of shades here, and if you layer some of them, you can make a cooler shade a lot warmer if you put this kind of corally shade over it. So I love it. Today, what's going on is I have Cyborg on the lid, I have Birch in the crease, and I deepened out up the outer corner with Teak. No eyeliner and just mascara. But then there's Soft Glam, and I just love touching this, first of all, which is why it's filthy. But this one is definitely warmer toned, and I definitely don't wear every shade. My only complaint is that the golden shimmer shades are really golden. They're very warm, and I wish there was one shade that was more of a champagne-y, light gold. You'll see one in a minute that I absolutely love. I do like that it has a nice brow bone, and the midtones are really nice, but they are much warmer. This is a very warm palette. I guess I just answered my own question. If I had to pick, I guess it's Sultry. Sultry would be the standalone favorite, but I really do also love Soft Glam. I have to mention this palette, even though I have said I'm not gonna talk about Too Faced on my channel anymore. I feel like back when they were releasing the chocolate palettes and even the peach palette, I still very much love the brand. Things have sort of changed, and I feel like the quality has changed as well, but I still do love this palette. I don't reach for it as much out of, I guess, choice, but I have to mention, if you have it, you might as well use it. The Too Faced Sweet Peach palette probably has the all-time best lid color, this Luscious shade. Let me just swatch it for you. I love this shade. For me, this is like the perfect lid color. Just see how it's basically your skin tone, but it glistens. That's what I'm looking for. There's no glitter, there's no fallout, it's not too icy. It's just, it enhances the skin of your eye, as long as you don't have a ton of wrinkles, which may be a problem for me later, but for right now, I'm embracing it. And then again, it has definitely more warm toned mattes for that transition and some deeper tones. You can do very simple eye, you can go a little nuts. And again, even though there's a couple colors in here that aren't usually what I would reach for, I can and have worn the green and the pink and the purple. They're wearable. So if you have it, this is a good one that won't stay open upside down. And then the last one that I want to talk about is the newest to my collection. Wander Beauty sent this to me, and when I opened this palette, I gasped. It is beautiful. It is missing one key shade, otherwise it might be the perfect palette. It is missing that ivory brow bone that I'm looking for, but look at this. The most creamy, soft, pigmented, beautiful shimmer shades, of course, but even the mattes are also just so delicious. I don't know what else to tell you. They are so well done. Honestly, if it were me, I would get rid of this and put the ivory brow bone shade in there, but they didn't ask for my opinion. It's a really neat shade, but am I ever gonna really wear it? I mean, I did use it as an accent color under my eyes once, and admittedly, it's really not my thing, but it's a really cool shade, and on someone with probably much more tan skin tone, it would be gorgeous. On me, it just doesn't look quite right. It's a really pretty shade, and it doesn't streak. Anyway, whatever. It's fun, and maybe for some summer event, hopefully that I have one day with a great faux tan, I can figure out how to wear it. And speaking of Wander Beauty, I love how y'all look out for me. I've gotten a few direct messages asking me if Wander Beauty stole my video. No. If you've forgotten, and I don't blame you if you have, I mean, who keeps track of what I do? No, I can't even remember what I do. I actually was hired by Wander Beauty to make raw footage for 2 advertisements for them that were never gonna be on my channel. I gave them the raw footage, and then they took it and edited it and turned them into 2 ads on Instagram and Facebook. And they did tag me It says @MsGoldgirl up in the video footage. What I did from that is, after having done those 2 ads for them, realized how much I liked that more minimal look, and I did a video using those products on my own channel. It would be 100% perfect if we got rid of sea glass and put in a matte ivory, but you can't have everything. So those are pretty much my all-time favorite palettes. None of them are standalone perfect. I'm always looking for just that one. Sort of like we're always looking for that perfect pair of shoes or that perfect dress, or it's just that elusive search that has us shopping every Sephora sale and Nordstrom Beauty event and Ulta event and what have you. I do have at least one palette coming from my Sephora order. I have forgotten because it's been, I think, a few weeks now, but who knows, maybe my perfect palette is in that shipment. We shall see. I would love to hear from y'all. Let me know if any of these have made it into your favorites category, or if you have a favorite palette knowing what I love. Let me know if you want to recommend something and put those in the comments below. I hope this was fun. I hope that this has inspired you to look through your collection, and maybe there's a perfect palette hidden deep in a drawer somewhere that you've forgotten about. Pull it out and have some fun. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video.